Gabby, I love you.
Welcome back to the channel. Oh my god. If you're new here, hi. And if you're not new here and you're not yet subscribed, you subscribe right now because I don't know what you're doing. We're on the road to 1K and we're almost there. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for liking, sharing, commenting. Do whatever you do. Keep it going and let's get into this interview. This is Brooklyn Barrett. She's been training for like 2 years. She's fresh in the game, but guess what? She's scary as hell. And she's doing a great job at it. Wow, and she's only 20 years old. Brooklyn Barrett, oh my god, it's you. It's she.
I know.
Let's start with this. Like, where are you from?
I'm from Mobile, Alabama.
And how is it over there? How is Alabama?
Right now it's really cold, kind of snowy, but usually it's real hot and humid and gross. Small town, nothing to do.
So whenever you get to travel to other places, do you kind of like get really excited?
I love to travel.
What made you want to wrestle?
I saw, well, the whole reason I was exposed to it was because I saw like a thumbnail of like WWE and YouTube when John Cena proposed to Nikki Bella at WrestleMania. Like I saw a thumbnail and I was like, I know who John Cena is. So that led me down a rabbit hole of figuring out who Nikki Bella was and stuff. And then the person I saw who made me want to actually get in and do it was AJ Lee.
She's an icon.
I love her.
Are you hoping that she makes a return at the Royal Rumble?
Of course. I would cry.
Do you think it's going to happen?
Probably not, but whatever. Maybe one day.
So would you say AJ is your favorite wrestler?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's different. So you didn't grow up watching wrestling.
Not really. I like saw like the highlights of matches when I was in like middle school. And then from then I started watching it kind of inconsistently, but I didn't know how like dramatic and storyline driven it was. So I was drawn to like the wrestling itself more than like the drama part of it.
That's different. Okay. So what is it about AJ that you like?
Oh, she's a tiny, feisty girl. She's able to get in there and do like cool things that a lot of like powerhouses aren't able to do, a lot of men aren't able to do. So from there, it kind of, I discovered new people who are similar to her, where they're like real small in stature and stuff. They do different things.
So finding people that you see yourself in.
In a way, yeah.
So like what other tiny wrestlers are you a fan of?
I love Candice LeRae on the indies. She she's probably my favorite like indie girl. She's signed now, but she's probably my favorite indie person. Like I love her indie stuff a lot. I watch clips all the time.
Like I'm really big on nostalgia. So I grew up during not the attitude era, the ruthless aggression era. So like 2006, 2009, I always look back on that time period. So have you like looked at things from way back?
But I'm not super like educated when it comes to like in order the history and like the relationship between wrestlers and stuff. But I did go back and watch like certain people in like highlight matches. So like Trish and Lita with the main event. Like I watched like real specific stuff and I'm kind of getting more educated and stuff. But yeah.
So you're a girl's girl like me. Cause I always paid attention to the divas and stuff, never the men. So
Yeah.
you know, like it's just they're girls. Like we're girls. Like you want to see yourself. It's like especially when you encounter wrestling fans, male wrestling fans, and they're like, "Oh, you don't know this or you don't know this." It's like I do know it, but like I know this more. You know.
I know of it. I know it happened. But I can't say I was there.
I do remember you telling me at a show that you wrestled or you trained in Japan.
I did like a study abroad trip and I wanted to extend my trip to train, but it was really difficult with like finding things because wrestling is so, if you don't know the right people, it's difficult to get into it. Or like that with the language barrier and like the accessibility of information and stuff it was so difficult to like find a place, but eventually I did. And I was able to train like 3 times, and I went to like a bunch of shows and stuff. I did as much wrestling stuff as I could with the time I extended. So yeah, I was only able to do it like 3 times, but I did it.
And that's all that matters. How is it different than American wrestling?
A lot of a lot of technique and like rebuilding things from the ground up and stuff. They corrected bad habits, taught me new things, a lot of calisthenics and warming up and drills that I didn't expect because I kind of expected to just go in there and start working with people, but they were really slow and calculated in how you start and then you work up to like working with people and stuff.
They want to make sure you knew what you were doing. So how long did you stay out there?
Probably a month.
Did you like Paige? How do you feel about Paige?
Oh, I loved Paige. I loved her. I like how like aggressive she was and different she was from everybody else, and yeah.
Especially during that time where there wasn't really a lot of them.
Yeah, she stood out for sure. Like her and AJ, well, I loved both of them, but I always rooted for AJ. But whenever Paige would win and stuff, I would try to like, I don't know, take little parts that she did and try to add it to what I do now. Same thing with AJ and like other people I watch. I don't want to steal from them directly, but I can't say I wasn't influenced.
Everybody's influence. Everybody at this point, all the wrestlers in the world, all the stuff in the media, everybody is influenced, and that's okay. So, did you ever watch Total Divas?
No, I've seen clips like Natalia getting slapped in the face. I've seen that many times. I don't know why. It always pops up. But like I didn't watch like an episode ever.
I love the Japan story. Like, so you said, I know wrestling is like hard to get into. So, how did you get into it there? Like, how did you find a place where you could kind of, you know, go?
So it is easier for me. I can't like lie. I'm half Japanese. And so I know a little bit of the language and I can get my mom to translate because I can speak it and understand it, but reading and writing is I almost can't do it at all. I'm learning it now, but yeah, it was really difficult to try to find a place. So I was emailing different places and stuff, and then my mom helped me like translate things, and we got some days at a place um called Chocopro slash Gato Move, depending on what they're doing, but it's that promotion, and they got me in touch with people. I was able to train there.
Alrighty. So, Pro Wrestling 225, we were writing to the last event or whatever, and they were telling me how it's in the Gulf Coast, there's like a demand for female wrestlers. Can you attest to that?
Yeah. Like I was pretty much only working for one promotion, and I don't know how, but I was found and booked at 225 randomly. And then from there, I started going to 225 a little more consistently and then getting out there more. And now I'm booked at different places and stuff. So it kind of, I was doing wrestling for maybe a year and a half. And then all of a sudden, at a certain point, it kind of clicked and I was able to go more places from there. But yeah, before that point, I was like, I don't want to say unknown, but unknown. Not that I'm known now, but I'm booked now. So yeah, it kind of exploded a little bit more over the past like 6 months.
Is there a difference in wrestling, let's say in Alabama than in Louisiana?
Louisiana fans are hardcore. So like anything you do, they'll react to it. I've noticed. So like if I do something real bad, they hate me over there in Louisiana. And then in Alabama, it's like it's a little more nuanced, I guess, where like if you're maybe they won't react to you the way that you expect, or maybe you do something but you're a heel, but they think you're cool. That happens sometimes. So yeah, but again, that's when I was kind of newer. Now it's gotten more like I'm used to it and I can kind of adapt.
Hmm.
I was given a warning just to just to prepare for how they might react and stuff.
Where was that? Who was that warning from?
Lucha. We drive because his car ride is longer than mine, so it makes more sense to pick me up along the way. So he was just telling me about it before my first time ever wrestling in Louisiana. He was telling me like, yeah, they're a lot more hardcore than they are in Alabama. Like he goes, it's still real to them. I don't know why.
I can see him saying that actually. But I never thought about that. I would just think if you're going to a wrestling show, you'll be into it regardless. You know? Wow, okay. So Alabama, they're flip floppers, and Louisiana, they're pretty consistent with how they act.
Yeah, because like Alabama, there's not much wrestling. There's some, but in Louisiana, there's a ton of wrestling. So I guess just more fans, more promotions, more support. They get really into it. It's probably what it is.
So where's the furthest you've wrestled?
I was booked in Puerto Rico, but that was because like Lucha and that connection, stuff like that. So I guess there. It
Puerto Rico? Tell us how that was.
was fun. A lot of like random missteps, but that's more so like traveling different countries, stuff like that. But it was fun going.
Okay, how is Puerto Rico different?
I don't know how to explain it. Everything was just like different, but the people I was working with were very normal. Like they spoke English, they were so chill. I don't know. Very different.
I feel like it'll be faster paced over there for some reason.
I didn't really watch that many other matches. I'm usually like in the back stressed,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't there for that long. I It was like a blur because I was just stressed the whole time. But yeah,
I've seen you stress in the back of the shows. So how do you cope with stress before a match?
I love to pace. I love to pace and walk around, go over the same thing a million times. Think of different things that could happen if something goes wrong. Just mentally preparing, I guess. But yeah, I love to pace. I'm completely silent. uh yeah, just taking time to get ready and stuff.
And how is it riding with Lucha?
Interesting.
I just wonder how that carpool is.
There was one time with Amp and Andreas. They were also there. So they live kind of in the Alabama area, so he picked all of us up. That was pretty fun. Other times in different promotions, we ride with other people, but if it's just like 225, it's usually us two. So there's a lot of like catching up with like different things going on with wrestling, different things going on with life, but he's so like unpredictable. It's so like out of pocket because like what sometimes he'll just be like he'll pull up a match on his phone while he's driving because his car is like fancy enough to like we won't crash. But yeah, he likes to like watch other stuff while he's driving. AC's blasting. I'm freezing, but I'm not gonna say anything. He likes to blast music on the way back from shows. Sings in the car sometimes.
Also, I wanted to ask you your entrance with the firecrackers. Where did that come from?
Um, so the first promotion I really worked for, there was this one venue where they had a ramp and there was a stage, but the stage and the ramp didn't line up, so you had to watch your step going on the ramp because there was a huge gap. So I thought I'm gonna instead of walking normally, I'm gonna jump onto the ramp. And they used to have pyro that stopped working. So I really wanted like pyro and stuff like that. So I just brought my firecrackers, made sure everything was fine, and then I threw them. And then from there, I got the adult snappers, makes it louder. It like glows more, scares people.
KillJoys. How did you get into that group?
My first match at 225 was against Kelsey Reagan and Lucha Locura came out, helped me win. And then from there, him and Corey were involved, Wes got involved, and now we're a big unhappy family.
So why are y'all so scary? I interviewed them and they were scary.
Mm-hmm. What was so scary about it?
Lucha was all in my face. Wes threw a chair. What do you mean? How was it scary? What do you mean?
I guess we're very tight knit, you know. If an outsider kind of tries to talk to us, it kind of throws off everything we're doing. Like we had a game plan going, and like, what if Corey said something, he lost his train of thought? That could have been the best idea he's ever had, but you ruined it. So Wes had to throw a chair. What you got in your face? I just sat there. I didn't have to raise a finger. You were fine. I wasn't gonna hurt you. Them probably, but I would never do that.
Next time I do have to interview you, I will prefer you by yourself. So be sure to tell them. All right, so dream match. Let's get into a dream match. Any wrestler.
Probably Candice LeRae, the like indie version. I mean, she hasn't changed, but like, I wish she was able to go, like she was able to go on the indies, and then I'll be reckless. I don't care what I'm gonna do. I'm not signed. I'm good. The stuff she used to do was absolutely insane. So like the bumps she would take, the crazy spots she would do, and stuff she was able to do with like freedom and stuff. She's still good in WWE. Like I still watch her, but yeah, I wish she was able to like bring it with the same intensity she was able to on the indies. I watch wrestling when I can just to catch up, but I'm so busy. It's difficult because now it's 3 hours. It's 3 hours. Like, yeah, it's on Netflix, it's more accessible, but I don't have time. So I have to like watch it when I can and try to catch up when I can and stuff. So,
So how is training different for women than it would be for men, in your opinion?
um, a lot of men are kind of scared to hit a girl, which I don't know. I'm taught to like bring it the same way a guy would because I train with men who aren't scared to hit me. So being more aggressive, scrappy, they always tell me to lay it in more. And if you can't get hit by 100-pound girl, you should leave. That's what they say. So for me, it's a lot more, I have to try harder to do the same stuff because I'm smaller. So maybe that's less to do with being a girl, more so being small. But I have to figure out like different types of things I can do to most people, which is also difficult because a lot of girls have the same issue I do. So if we're all trying to do smaller people moves, we can't really do as much with each other, which is something I've noticed, but that doesn't really have as much to do with like training. But yeah, I train with guys who aren't scared to hit me and stuff. So when I do train with other people and they're not used to training with me, I always tell them, hey, you can hit me. Like hit me pretty hard. It's fine. I don't care.
In Pro Wrestling 225, what is the most painful bump that you could think of that you took?
I don't remember. They don't really hurt that much anymore. When T Gaines hit her finisher off the second rope in the cage. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of, but it didn't hurt too bad.
Have you wrestled any men yet in Pro Wrestling 225?
Not in Pro Wrestling 225, no. I want to. That'd be cool.
You versus Jays, hey. Someone make it happen.
I
So
could
my
kill him.
probably I could see it. Advice for young women who want to start wrestling.
Be prepared for a lot of people doubting you. If people don't know who I am or any of that, I'm not saying like that I am really good or anything like that. I'm just saying like I will walk into a room. There's kind of an elephant in the room where it's like, oh, she's a women's wrestler. So women's wrestling is still kind of looked down upon as like, you don't have to be good. You don't have to be that good. It's probably gonna suck. This is the bathroom break match because it's like a women's match. Nobody says it, but it's a feeling you get when you walk into a room. But yeah, usually I go up, shake somebody's hand, they're extremely respectful. There's no issue. I'm not complaining about like the disrespect I get. I don't really get that much of it, but there might be a little tension when you walk into a room where you don't know if that's what they're thinking.
If they are thinking that, they suck. Women's wrestling has evolved so much in the short period of time.
Yeah, it exploded in a real short amount of time. It's crazy how much it's changed and stuff.
With especially like older guys who's been watching wrestling for years, like the Attitude Era where they used to treat the women like a bunch of hoes, you know, and especially they grew up watching that. Like, eh, eh. I'm glad I asked that question because I would have never thought to like that you would say that. You did a great job.
I had a great interviewer.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm having so much fun interviewing these indie wrestlers, learning so much. And I appreciate them taking the time to do this.